Welcome to the Valhalla Filmcast, a show where normal guys talk about the films that they love. And here are your hosts, Bryce Thompson, Brian Hammond, and Cody Ryrie. Now get ready, because the show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Valhalla Filmcast. I am Bryce Thompson. I am here with Cody Ryrie.
Yes, indeed.
Brian Hammond didn't necessarily want to watch this horrible movie, so he's not here with us. But we are talking about Suicide Squad. If you have watched the movie, you are listening to this, and it's going to be spoiled. If you haven't, then go watch it. If not,
you can still listen to it. In my opinion, it's okay. The more spoiling experience is to go to it thinking it's going to be good. It was spoiled for me as I watched it. But
also download the review show as well. If you don't want to listen to it, that's fine. Just download it. It helps. But let's just get into this thing.
Okay.
Previously, I guess do a recap of what we thought of it on the review show. I gave it a 2.5 star rating.
Yeah.
You gave it a 2.
Yes.
So we didn't necessarily like this movie.
No.
What was your biggest reason?
Well, let me reveal my behind the scenes information because I think it'll get at the heart of what I think is the problem with the movie.
Okay.
What I learned before I saw the film, actually, because they've done this with preview audiences, is David Ayer, the director and writer of this film, was making his version of the movie. And when one of those first trailers came out that was like the big happy fun Suicide Squad trailer, it was very well received, and people were worried, especially the studio executives apparently, that the movie David Ayer was making did not reflect the happy-go-lucky trailer that was so well received. So while David Ayer was still making his movie, they hired the people who made the trailer, I think called the Trailer Park is the company, to re-edit the film to make it more happy-go-lucky and have more pop music in it and to be more splashy and things like that. And both David Ayer and the Trailer Park finished their versions of the film. There's 2 versions of the film. They were both released to preview audiences, and preview audiences picked the Trailer Park version.
What are you doing?
So I really hope we get to see David Ayer's version of this, which has been described as it's longer. There's a lot more of the Joker, a lot more things filled out, a lot more character backgrounds, things like that. The movie is much, it's not as flashy, it's a little bit darker, and this was all things they were worried about after Batman vs. Superman. So, yeah, the problems with pacing, the problems with characters not being fleshed out. Now, I'm not saying, because I haven't seen David Ayer's version, it could be partially at least fixed in a movie that took more time, in a movie that treated its characters a little more intelligently. A lot of those things could be fixed. So I'm worried that Warner Brothers, in their panic over not measuring up to Marvel and over how Batman vs. Superman was received, is making bad decisions. Because I think it's almost universally stated that the longer version of Batman vs. Superman is a much better movie. People that didn't like Batman vs. Superman liked the longer cut, and that was the version that Zack Snyder originally turned in, and the Suits got a hold of it. And so if the Suits have ruined 2 movies in a row, then we've got issues. I don't know that they have. I can't promise that because I don't know for sure. But that was released. That was disclosed right before the movie came out on Thursday.
That really actually kind of makes me kind of angry almost because, well, look at what you're making. Look at the comic books first. Okay, so you have Marvel comic books and you have DC comic books. Marvel has always been the happy-go-lucky comics. Like, the characters are not as dark and they're not as, menacing, I guess, in a way you could say.
Yeah.
And you have DC comics and it's just black, Like, you could put up a black screen and you have a perfect DC comic because they're all dark. I mean, Batman, he is a very dark character. He has mental issues.
And he's a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so harness that. That is
Embrace
your,
it. Embrace
oh,
it.
it's so. I mean, that is how you're going to win this battle. I mean, take that darkness, because we've been force fed Marvel's happy-go-lucky for so long. We're tired of it. I mean, the fatigue is set in. We don't need the happy-go-lucky anymore. We need something different, something fresh. And so...
Well, and speaking of fatigue, I have never felt more tired of comic book movie tropes than in the last part of this movie, of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I know, I agree.
When they got to the end, this is what killed it for me. And the bad guy is there, the witch or whatever, and she's doing that ridiculous dance thing constantly to make her machine go. This machine that's going to blow up the earth because 900 freaking million bad guys in comic book movies are blowing up the earth. And I am so tired of it. And they have a big fist fight, and Harley Quinn somehow outsmarts the all-powerful thousands-year-old witch, which doesn't...
Yes, I know. I thought that was very stupid.
What? No. And the witch, like, she fights them all for a long time and then decides, no, I don't want to do this anymore. So she uses her magic to pull all their weapons away. I'm like, why not just do that at the beginning? Why not just kill them all and turn them into dust or whatever it is that you do? And then once she's got her heart pulled out, she still can, like, poof and go places earlier in the film, but now she's lost all her power for some reason. And somehow, this doesn't make any sense either, they have her heart earlier in the movie, but her brother makes it so she doesn't need to... There's so many things in this movie that make no sense, that just don't line up.
Definitely. My biggest issue, well, I have lots of issues, and I don't think necessarily one's bigger than the other, but is the black lady. Like, she's like some hardcore awesome girl, like awesome lady, but then it doesn't make any sense. Like, she shoots the FBI dudes. What?
Yeah, I know.
Why are you so hardcore, and why are all the rumors true? Like, I don't understand. Like, you're just some crazy black lady that... What? You work for the special service of the government? Like, I'm confused.
Well, and here's the thing that makes that such a tragedy, is the actress playing her, Viola Davis, is an amazing actress. Yes. She's so good. And in the movie called Doubt, she had one scene, and she was nominated for an Oscar. You know, because she's that amazing. She's so good. What a waste of her.
I know. I think she did a good job. It's just her character, you had no idea. Like, they hinted at all this stuff, but it was like... What? Like, like, you were so lost about her past that you couldn't pay attention to what she was doing.
Well, and just, I didn't, like, nobody got enough background. Nobody got enough. I mean, Will Smith is the closest, I think. He got the closest to, you know, you saw his relationship with his daughter and things, but even that was barely fleshed out. You know, I think that only worked for me because Will Smith is, you know, he's this amazing beacon in this pile of poo. I thought he was great. Kidding. Maybe you didn't feel the same way, but I thought he was really good in the movie.
I liked him a lot too. I think I liked him. What I didn't like about the introductions is they introduced some people, but then they didn't introduce others. Right. And you're like, what?
Well, can we talk here? Just real briefly about the one Native American character, about Slipknot? Poor Slipknot. He gets no introduction. They bring him in last. He has about 2 lines and gets his head blown off. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. What was he even in the movie for?
Exactly. Because they needed someone to test the thing on, I guess. Stupid, dumb. Waste of time, waste of money. I mean, I like that actor a lot.
I know. I was really that's the thing. I saw him. I was like, heck yeah, I love that guy. Boom.
Yeah, I was real excited. And then they didn't introduce him, and I was like, okay, that's kind of stupid. Like, why doesn't he get an introduction? And he's even on the screen with he's on the screen of one of the guys.
Yes.
But he doesn't get an introduction. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, Slipknot. And he comes and he, like, punches the lady in the face, and it's, oh, great and wonderful. And then he just gets his head blown off. Yep. Like, really? I was like, okay, they're going to bring him back somehow, but...
I don't know how. He has no head.
I know, but I was like, really? They're going to, like, introduce him as part of the squad, but then not really. You're just the bait that we can use to get our point across with.
And, okay, I was going to say this. I guess I more fully understand how to say this. When it goes to the actual characters, I thought Margot Robbie... What I should say is I thought Margot Robbie was giving her all to Harley Quinn. I thought that there was a lot of things that Harley Quinn did that didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
but I thought that it wasn't her fault. She was really giving her all. Now, I don't know, and this is going to sound so bad, and if anybody's listening to this, you can get mad. That's fine. Just make sure to leave comments and download. I didn't like Jared Leto's Joker all that much.
Hated it. I didn't.
It came out of my mouth. I said it.
Now, I have my specific reasons of why I didn't like him. I hated his laugh. It was stupid. It was my same reason of why I didn't like Harley Quinn. Mm-hmm. They were almost too ditzy. Like, you're the Joker. You're insane, but you're smart. You know what your plan is. You have an end goal. Yeah. You're not some cartel crazy weirdo guy. Like, you're not a gangster. Well, you don't care.
I could even be okay with the gangster angle, except for me, he wasn't so much gangster as he was like lover the entire time. Like,
yeah, it was annoying.
That was just
he
weird.
He doesn't care about Harley Quinn.
Yeah, well, and I think that what would have been really cool, what could have improved it, is if we had seen the really smart psychiatrist doctor. If you could see how she gets seduced by the Joker, like if they'd spent some time showing that transition. And what really went on there, that would have been really fascinating. As it is, we get one shot of them like doing therapy, and then one shot of him shocking her brain, which apparently turns her into a Joker zombie, and that's it.
Which makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. Like, I can see you going back and forth. Like, okay, because the Joker doesn't really care about Harley Quinn. Like, I'm sure he kind of does. Like, obviously.
Well, in this movie, I was really getting that from Jared Leto, that he really cared about her. I was getting that.
Yeah, it doesn't. No, you can't. He doesn't care that much. Like, if Harley Quinn died, he'd go, "Oh, that sucks," and then he might be a little sad because I mean, there's that relationship that they've always had, but still, they have an abusive relationship that's pretty well documented.
So you feel like it needed to be much more of a one-sided thing on her part, the affection or whatever.
Yes, because that's exactly 100%. She goes after the Joker. The Joker just deals with her and makes her run errands. But I mean, that's the way it was in Warner Brothers video game. That's the way it is. Yeah. I mean, the Joker doesn't really give a crap about Harley Quinn.
Well, and it was choices about the voice and, like you said, the laugh that really were off-putting. And this is probably me bringing my history to it. But I remember, and I will always remember, walking in 2008, walking into The Dark Knight, and watching Heath Ledger, and when the movie was over, I couldn't speak because of Heath Ledger.
Yes.
Because it was so insane and affecting, and every minute of it, I wasn't thinking about if it was working or not because I was terrified. Like, it was just so good, and to come up against that, which you have to come up against it, it's the same character, it's a comparison that everybody's going to be making. It really, really fell short. It just did not. And that whole opening scene with the black guy comes in.
Yeah, that was just awkward.
And somehow he offends the Joker, but you didn't really know how, and then he shot him. And I know maybe it was supposed to come across as, oh, he'll shoot you for no reason at all, but it more came across as there was more to this scene, but it didn't work, and so he just shot him, and we cut it out, and it was confusing. And
well, I couldn't really understand him, what he was saying either.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I liked the angle. I liked how I thought he looked pretty cool.
The look was all right.
Tattoos. Yeah. I hated his teeth. Like, they looked way fake. It just didn't. His teeth, and there was I mean, I've heard the backstory that he got his teeth kicked out, but I thought that was coming from the movie. Who knows if that's true? That could just be some fan theory, and we don't even know. It's cool. It makes a lot of sense, but show that. I want to see Joker getting kicked in the face.
Well, and also, there was that whole scene. I thought Batman was wasted in this, too.
Me too.
I mean, he showed up once or twice and didn't really do anything. I mean, he rides on the top of the Joker's car for a minute, and then he grabs Harley Quinn out of the water. And the other time is he arrests Deadshot after a little bit of a two-punch fist fight. You're going to have Batman in your movie. Have him at least do one cool thing, one Batman-y thing.
He's Batman.
Yeah, and it just wasn't. It wasn't there. He was a waste. It could have been anybody. It didn't need to be Batman. And if you're going to waste Batman, Viola Davis, Jared Leto, who is an amazing actor, by the way, in other things, he's incredible. But now hearing all these stories about the set, about how he never went out of character and he sent dead pigs to it, that all seemed very stupid. because the end result did not require that.
And exactly, I totally agree with you. I was so pumped. I was like, yes, he's making, and that's the one thing, like, you hear the stories about Heath Ledger, how he stayed in the hotel room for, months, and then made this awesome Joker. Like, don't do Heath Ledger's Joker. That's Heath Ledger's.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Make your own, which you have to, but do it differently than you did it, because it didn't work.
Well, and that gets me. I will talk about one or two positives real quick. Like you were talking about, I thought the look of the movie was good. I liked the Joker's henchmen and their masks was always very creative and interesting. I liked the look of the witch before she became like the Incan dancing princess. When she was just the black.
Yeah.
When they did that thing where the
cool.
Enchantress's hand came from underneath the other hand and flipped it.
Yeah, that was way cool.
That was really. That was at the beginning of the movie. So I was like, okay, here we go. This is cool. And then it never went anywhere. And she became this really weird, like I said, gyrating actress with this voice they put over her. And then they gave all the main characters visions of what they really wanted, but there was only 3 of them that got visions. Nobody else got visions.
Yeah, I hated that. I thought that was so stupid. And like, why? Like they just half-assed everything.
Yes, yeah, very good. Everything was halfway done.
And like, what are you doing? Stop. Slow down. Make a movie. How much time do you got? I mean, we'll wait.
Well, that's the thing is the movie was a little over 2 hours long, and it didn't feel like anybody got their just due. I don't know.
Everyone got like, oh yeah, here's a little taste of this. Oh yeah, here's some more. Here's some more. Oh yeah, okay. Thanks for all of these samples, but I don't really want all these samples. I just want, all of it.
I mean, if you're
served to me.
If you're gonna have a crew of 6 people, we've learned this again. I know I'm trying not to rub salt in the wound, but we've learned this from Marvel. If you want a group movie to work, then you pair people up and you give them development together. Because the only way you can make it work with the time that you have. Guardians of the Galaxy did this brilliantly. They introduce people real quick. You get a little bit of backstory on the really important ones, and then the other ones they get backstory from how they interact with other people. And so you're not wasting time with 18 flashbacks showing where everybody came from, because you don't really have time for that unless you're going to do a 4-hour movie. And this movie didn't understand that. It had really random 6 or 7 flashbacks at the beginning that didn't. All of them didn't work very well. They all felt like kind of music video-y because they had the rock songs.
Yeah, it was so dumb. The music was like took away from the movie so much.
Well, when they were getting all their gear and it played that Eminem song, like it seemed like the most obvious choice that like a middle schooler would have picked for that scene.
Like, I mean,
all the music seemed that way.
Yeah, I agree. The music just didn't fit with the movie. Like it was too like upbeat. These guys are villains. They're super villains. Why are you giving them this music? Like, stop.
It just seemed like it just came out of nowhere, and then it would be gone really quick, and then another one, and then we're gone, and then another one, and then we're gone, and it was really jarring. And, like, again, I don't know what Killer Croc is doing. I don't know where he came from.
Who is Killer Croc? What is he?
I don't know what he is. I don't know why he's part of the group. I don't know what keeps him going. I
know. And his whole character, let's just take a second and let's just discuss Killer Croc, because he bugged me. So I guess before, I like how they did the flashbacks. Like, I think that those are good, but it didn't make any sense. And so then you get to Killer Croc. And like we said with Guardians of the Galaxy, you get the flashbacks of the important characters, and then you get background as you're going.
Yeah.
There's none of that. None of that. I mean, you find out that he's like some dude who has a skin disease, and they treated him badly, so then he just acted on it. Like, what? No, that's not how it works. Like, come on, let's give us a little bit more. Like, he turns out to be like a pretty important character. Like, he does a lot of things to like save the day.
Yeah.
But all he does is growl. He sounds like the Lion King.
And I didn't understand a word he said. I didn't get any of his dialogue. Not one bit. I never got it.
And if neither did I. Like, what? Like, that doesn't make zero sense. And like like I was reading in some of the comic books, he's just a dude with like a skin condition. So why does he actually have to look like a crocodile and have like the teeth? Like why can't he just be like disfigured? Well, and like be able to swim or something. I don't know. I don't know how I'm
supposed to feel for that guy when I don't know anything about him. I mean, he's totally dehumanized, and even the people that get backstories. Let's take Diablo for instance. You know, he gets a little bit of a backstory, but there's so little time spent on it. I don't have a chance to get attached to him. I don't have a chance to get attached to his family backstory thing. It didn't feel tragic. I didn't get any emotion from it. And
no, who cares?
Exactly. And I think Marvel somehow is so good at mining emotion from little things like that. They would not have let that slide. That would have been heartbreaking. You know, when
it should have been, right?
It should have been. It should have been. And instead I thought, oh, okay, that's his reason for not doing this, and now he's going to be the big Hulk character who comes in at the end and saves everybody, which he was. And it just felt like a plot device rather than something that connected. And even Will Smith, who I thought did a great job, I don't think he got enough with his daughter to make that really work either. You know, and I think the worst example was Harley Quinn and the Joker, because you have no idea why they're together. They don't do anything together that makes a lot of sense, even in a sick, twisted way. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And then you get nothing about a lot of the other backstories. I also never bought the army guy, Rick Flag, and his relationship with the Enchantress lady. They never had time to show that they liked each other, much less were in this love affair that was supposed to be so important in the movie. Got nothing there.
No, it was just none of their relationships worked.
No.
Like you could have capitalized on every single one of these, you know? Like Diablo's character. I thought he was really cool. I feel like he pouted way too long.
Yes, he did.
I mean, he pouted way too long, and then he did this awesomeness, and you're like, dang, that's cool. And then he continued to pout.
Well, that brings up a point. I thought the action scenes were also severely lacking in this. Like, we have these literally faceless bad guys who are, you know, just kind of run at our characters for them to kill. The only one that was halfway cool was the one where Deadshot mowed them all down in the car in front of everybody else. That one was okay. But the rest didn't do anything for me. It was too dark. I couldn't really tell what was going on a lot of the times. Like I said, I didn't care. And so there wasn't even like escapism because they weren't that well done, I thought. And I'm sitting there. This is the thing that just blew my freaking mind the entire time. I'm thinking about Fury the whole time. And the man that made Fury could not have made this movie. I don't understand. Because Fury had the best relationships, the best development, the best story, and one of the coolest and most intense action scenes in that tank battle that happens in the middle.
I know.
It's so intense. And in that battle at the end when they get stuck and they're having to fight off all these Gestapo people, like, this is a movie. Fury's a movie about a bunch of misfits that are kind of unlikable, and then we get to know them all, and we get to like them despite their problems, and by the end we feel so bad, spoiler alert, when they all get killed. Like, it's such an affecting movie, and I thought, this is a perfect guy to make Suicide Squad. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
This guy made Shia LaBeouf look good.
Yes.
I mean, after he'd gone crazy.
Yeah, no. This is post crazy.
I like Shia, but he's gone insane now, and he made him look good. Like, I was like, dude, he's a good character. Like, I liked him a lot.
Well, and where's the gut-wrenching scene where Brad Pitt makes the kid shoot the officer? You know, like,
exactly.
Where is that? You know, where are those gut-wrenching scenes in a movie about violence and about villains? There's nothing even close to that effective in this movie. Not even close.
No. I mean, I know, you know, like, everything that happens, you know, it's just a ploy. Like, okay, Harley Quinn isn't going to die. You're not going to kill Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
The Joker isn't going to die. You know, none of these characters, these main characters,
that's true. All those false deaths, they didn't do anything for me either.
No, and so you need to kill other people that are important. Deadshot's daughter, see ya. You know?
Yeah, that's the kind of hardcore stuff that the man who did Fury and End of Watch would have done.
Yes, because that is what will get you tied. You're in Deadshot's corner now. Like, I am
Yep.
100% with Deadshot. You killed his daughter. Like, and Viola Davis's character is so hardcore and crazy. She would have done it.
Yeah.
I mean, none of it makes sense. And I think that's the biggest disconnect for me is it went too quickly and they didn't explain anything.
There's no emotion,
like
nothing. Everybody's a plot device, even though the plot makes very little sense. And at the end, there's no intensity. All the things that I really counted on David Ayer to bring, because they were all over End of Watch and they were all over Fury, they're just totally missing. And I am at a loss as to what happened. I couldn't believe it. I kept saying it to myself over and over again in the movie. I was like, no, you don't. This man has made 2 amazing movies that seem perfect to get him ready for this. What is going on? And I don't have an explanation other than that cutting story that I told at the beginning. But even that doesn't explain all of
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie could be better if they explained more.
But it's
But I
still
feel like
not going to
there's
get rid of
almost
the
too
fake deaths.
much.
It's still not going to get rid of some of
that's
the...
true. Exactly.
you know.
Exactly. And there's just so many different things that make this movie of my expectations, I guess, were too high, even though I made them as low as I could. It's just a disappointment because I've been looking forward to this movie for so long. I mean, this is the first movie that we get to see Harley Quinn, live action.
Ever.
Yes. And she was just some dumb, dimbo, ditzy, weirdo loser lady, She's almost annoying. She almost got to the point where she's annoying.
Well, and
which is disappointing.
for me, the Joker is the big disappointment. Because to be honest, I prefer, obviously, Heath Ledger's Joker. I also prefer Jack Nicholson's Joker to this one. Any day of the week. They're both much more interesting, kind of well-rounded characters. By keeping him out of the movie and by endorsing a lot of these weird choices that were made, the character comes off as a weird, sappy, half-crazy lover boy and not as the Joker that we've... And you can do things with the Joker. He's malleable. He doesn't have to be what he's been before. But this did not work for me in its writing choices, in the performance, and even, like I said, and even in some of the look doesn't work all the way either. So really, just bad turns, and it breaks my heart because, like you were saying, this is the one that we held out hope for. We thought, okay, well, Zack Snyder doesn't have a great track record, so we'll see with that one, but we know we can trust Suicide Squad. We know that's going to be good.
So I got one. There's one more in the bank. Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Wonder Woman, but
if Wonder Woman's bad too,
I don't know.
We may just sign off from the Valhalla Filmcast on the DCEU. I don't know.
It just too much disappointment. Talking about the Joker, one thing that I think would have been really cool, and you could have made the Joker work even better, and kind of sticking with how the Joker kind of has worked in the past. Because, I mean, yes, you want to make your own Joker, you want to do something different, but still, why do something different when there's something so good, too? Stick to it. But, design, expand off of that. But what would have been cool is if Harley Quinn, gets taken to jail, whatever, and then the Joker, he doesn't really care about Harley Quinn, but he doesn't like this, Davis lady. What's her character's name again?
Amanda Waller.
Yeah, he doesn't like this Waller lady, and so he causes havoc then, and that's how he gets Harley Quinn back, But he's not some lover boy that's texting her, "I'm gonna come get you." No, that's not the Joker. He doesn't care. He wants something bigger than Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is just a little, something on the side that it just happens to come with,
Well, and where is the moment? Because I know I keep comparing it to Heath Ledger, but that's what it is. You have to. Where's the bank robbery where he shoots everybody that he's with out of nowhere? Where's the pencil trick where you're sitting there going, "Oh my gosh," what has just happened? Where's the scene where he makes two people fight with a broken pool cue to the death to join his gang. Just scene after scene showing these really ingenious, depraved. Oh my gosh, there's not one of those in the movie. There really isn't.
No.
There's nothing in there
well,
where...
the only thing that kind of compares would be when he's like, hey, that Harley Quinn, that's my girl. You want to do stuff with her? And he's like, no, man, that's disrespectful. And he's like, hey, poof, she in the face. What?
What?
Exactly. Like, you make, okay, I guess that kind of makes it, he's unpredictable and crazy, but in the stupidest way ever.
Well, and okay, I will make an addendum. There is one person that the Joker can be in love with, and only one, and that's Batman. He can be in love with Batman and think that Batman is the yin to his yang, and he's obsessed with him, and that works great. But when you attach that affection to anything else, it makes him almost too human, and he can't be this crazy psychopath that you need the character to be.
They needed to tie Batman in somehow more, because that would have given the Suicide Squad a bigger motivation.
Or
I think it's stupid that have like Deadshot. He's obsessed with his daughter. I feel like that's so silly almost in a way, because I mean, he's this crazy, sociopath that just shoots everyone, but then he has a soft spot in his heart for his daughter. He even said that he doesn't know what the feeling of love is. He said that in the movie. But then how can he love his daughter?
Well, and I think that he's kind of lying out loud just so he can deal with it. But I agree, it is kind of a cliched way to go about showing heart in a character.
Yeah.
To have that.
He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it.
Well,
he's
I think
hardcore stone killer.
You improve the movie by getting rid of the Joker. I mean, he doesn't serve too much of a purpose anyway. He seemed shoehorned in. I didn't like how they shoehorned him in. I think you keep him off screen. Maybe you can talk about him a little, but wait until you can give the character his due. You've robbed him by introducing him this way, and it just didn't work. And so, because for me, like I said, the Joker without any connection to Batman feels halfway empty, feels wrong, and it was gone. Batman was wasted. So I don't know. I don't think I have anything else left to say except that nothing in this worked, and it's weird that I would have no desire to watch a movie ever again, because even the worst movies I usually give a chance to improve themselves, but I just can't imagine how this one ever would. And it was a torture to get through the first time. So
I guess I remember one last thing before we end, but when we first heard about Suicide Squad, and we were like, how are they going to do this? Like, who's going to be part of Suicide Squad? And we were, discussing, and we're like, the Joker can't be part of the Suicide Squad.
Right.
Like, he just can't, which he's not. He's not part of the squad. But one thing that we did say was he would, like, try and, like, mess it up. Like, he would try and, like, foil the Suicide Squad's plan.
Yeah.
And that's what he should have done. He should have been wrecking their plans the entire time. Like he kind of did in a way, like one time, but that was to save Harley Quinn, which was just stupid.
Maybe it would have been interesting if the Suicide Squad had been after the Joker. If he had been the main antagonist.
That would have been very interesting. And then, like, maybe he uses Harley Quinn as, like,
his inside man or something.
Inside. But he's just using her, you know?
Yeah, well,
that would have been so much better.
And how about this? Batman's off making the Justice League, so he can't deal with the Joker, and so they get the Suicide Squad to do it. That would even make sense in their timeline.
See, we just did it in like 2 seconds. Like, see, that makes so much more sense, because, like, they're like, okay, Batman, the Joker's out doing crazy stuff. We need you to stop him. And he's like, I can't. Superman just died. I gotta get
and I'm in Iceland talking to Aquaman. Yeah, exactly.
So. Yeah, and so then she comes in with her crazy idea. Hey, look, I've got these people. She uses Harley Quinn as a deterrent or a little bait too.
Oh yeah, she's got some kind of. That's how they're going to get close to the Joker or something like that.
Yeah,
that could work. We've taken about 30 seconds, and that already sounds like a better movie.
But then the Joker's like, no, I got her on my side. So then they're both using Harley Quinn, which makes Harley Quinn a main character, which everyone wants to see that. And then I mean, how much better of a movie would that be? It'd be so much more interesting because then the Joker can do insane stuff with killing massive multiple
and be a much
numbers
bigger
of
part of the
people.
movie, which he needs to be.
Exactly, because he needs to be a bigger part of the movie or not part of the movie.
Yeah.
Because his character just doesn't make sense. And so, I mean, hey, there you go. That's our idea for the remake of Suicide Squad. So...
well, hopefully the next movie we review will be better. It's been kind of a rough couple of weeks because Jason Bourne was a disappointment. But that being said, I didn't know what disappointment meant until I saw this movie.
That's true. This is a disappointing movie. And I usually don't get disappointed in movies, but this one did it. But we will leave you with this disappointment, and you can go and try to cheer yourselves up somehow.
Yeah, go back and watch The Dark Knight or Batman Begins. Make you feel better.
All right, this has been the Valhalla Filmcast. I am Bryce Thompson.
And I'm Cody Rowry.
And we'll talk to you next time.
The following views, opinions, and commentary are the sole property of the Valhalla Filmcast. Any unauthorized reproduction without prior consent is prohibited. Any incidental music, audio clips, or film trailers are used for the sole purpose of film criticism and commentary as allowed under the Fair Use Act.